After that fantastic performance against Wigan Athletic and also that flattering performance against Brentford at the GTEC Community Stadium where Arsenal played a 1-1 draw and gave Man City the opportunity to return back to the summit to competing in the Premier League. And Arsenal will be coming again in the midweek to play against Wolves. Wolverhampton Wanderers were a team that stumbled against Arsenal, scoring the 3 goals when Arsenal defeated them by 2 goals to 1 in the first leg of the EPL. But somehow, Arsenal are still in this title race, and like we always say, the EPL is for Arsenal to either win or lose. But as true believers in what we're going to achieve this season, Arsenal are truly going to win this title race. In respective of the fact that a lot of things aren't going right the way we want them, but we saw a much improved performance against Wigan Athletic, where even players that capitulated and were found missing in that game against Brentford came back and showed that they truly know what they're doing. Talking about a very cheesy. If you look at this game against Wolverhampton Wanderers, I want us to go back to a little bit of history when Arsenal played against Wolverhampton Wanderers for the first time in September 24, 1904, when Arsenal was known as Woolwich Arsenal. Arsenal defeated them by 2 goals to 0. And thereafter, as the year rolled by in 1926, Arsenal played against Wolves again in an FA Cup two-legged match where Arsenal played the first game that ended in a 1-1 draw, and Arsenal also defeated them by a long goal. But fast forward, Wolves have been trying to become a buggy team for Arsenal, but somehow Arsenal always find a way of nullifying their effort and winning them. But this game is going to be a nerve-wracking one, especially when you look at the way Wolves stood aloof against Arsenal at the Emirates. But when Arsenal peppered their defense, they capitulated and conceded 3 goals, scoring a goal against Arsenal and scoring 2 goals also for Arsenal. Anyways, it's going to be a really nerve-wracking match, but when you look at the team of Rob Edwards, you'll find out that the team has truly lost its strength, especially when they lost the Mercurial striker in the person of Jorgen Lassen, who happened to have crossed to the divide in London, going to play for Crystal Palace now. And they've lost a couple of players. Even since Rob Edwards took over from Victor Pereira, it has really not been easy. And now they're battling a relegation battle. And when they are going to play in the game before their fans, they'll be doing everything possible to nullify the threat of Arsenal. For Arsenal, they need to keep throttling and keep their pursuit of the Premier League, because by the time they play against Wolves on Wednesday, being the only team that will be playing in the midweek, it will be left with 11 games to go. So Arsenal need to be daring. They need to be undaunted. They need to be unfazed. They need to block out the outside noise and go there to get the desired result. And that is why when people were saying, oh, Arsenal didn't do well, especially when you look at the pundits globally or in the EPL trying to do things to unsettle Arsenal, when they were crying wolf against how Arsenal drew against Brentford, you will now start asking yourself a lot of questions. Is there an orchestrated agenda against Arsenal to ensure that they unsettle Arsenal and make sure they don't win anything this season? Because if you look at it, Man City went to Brentford, GT Community Stadium, they lost. United went there and they lost. And the press was now a wash agog. Arsenal went there and got a draw. Everyone is talking about Arsenal capitulating again. Anyways, the interesting thing about this Arsenal team is that they have that resolve to take game as they come. One, then the next one follows. So this experience is something that is really going to take them across the divide for them to go and claim the title race this season. Because Man City aren't formidable. They are not playing the best of football, even though they are grinding out results. Anyways, Arsenal need to be clinical going into this game. And looking at the way Rob Edwards plays, it plays three formation. It plays the 3-4-2-1 formation. It plays the 3-5-3. 3-5-3 formation, and also the 3-4-2 formation, relying on defensive solidity. And if you look at the kind of defensive shape they put up against Arsenal, playing that low block shape, it was difficult for Arsenal to truly break them. But in going into this game, I believe that Arsenal is going to bring their A game as an onslaught to dislodge the Rob Edwards boys. And going into this game, it is truly going to be a match that Arsenal are going to be scoring a lot of goals, especially when they know the pressure that will be on them. There's something that we found out against Wigan Athletic. We were able to get our match done and dusted in the first 45 minutes and came back in the second half to just soak in the pressure and end the game. And going into this game, I'll be expecting that Mikel Arteta will be deploying a similar lineup that he deployed against Wigan Athletic, but there are some material changes that need to be done. And I'll be looking at a situation where during Timber will be in the right back position, Gabriel William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes will be playing at the center of the park. Why? Piero Hincapié will be taking the position of Miles Lewis Kelly playing at the left back position. In that six, I want to see Christian Noga. There's something I discovered about Christian Noga. The guy is a midfield juggernaut. He's a guy that can do that dirty job for you when you want him to do it. He's the guy that you cannot catch up in possession. The way he plays those long passes, that is something we will also be missing. Because these too many lethargic passes of going backward to the goalkeeper is costing us a lot. So I want to see Mikel Arteta doing something different in this game by playing Christian Noga. Let him have a first Premier League start against the Wolves, and I believe he has a competence to go there and do the yeoman's job. And in the 10th position, since Captain Fantastic Martin Odegaard will not be available, I want to see Berry Tuesday stamping similar authority as stamped against Wigan Athletic. Let him play there and let us have the return of Declan Rice in the 8th position. And in the outside left, I want to see Trossard playing there. Let him continue to play there. And I want to see a situation where we're going to be playing Gabriel Jesus in that 8th position because he has the capacity to take defenders away from their position. Those zigzag runs will create a lot of opportunity for us to score. And I want to see Madueke starting in the 7th position. Let's have them in the first 45 minutes, and thereafter, if nothing works out the way we anticipate, I want to see we bringing in either this young man, Martinelli replacing Trossard, and Madueke being replaced by Bukayo Saka. My scoreline prediction for this game is as simple as ABC. I expect that Arsenal are going to be taking those guys to the cleaners by beating them by 3 goals to nothing. It's going to be an interesting evening. It's going to be a nerve-wracking evening. But it is one that I believe that Mikel Arteta and his boys are ready because it is a make or mar period now. We've been there on the summit for a very long time, and this time around we're going to grind it out. We just have to block out the outside noise and forget about what the pundits in the English Premier League are trying to do in order to dislodge us out of what we do. They either complain about the referee, the coaches today, or they complain about our players, or they complain about the Arsenal legend. But the truth is that we are focused and we're going to be taking Wolves to the cleaners. Until I come your way again, don't forget that this is the Arsenal Fans Beat brought to you by Arsenal Fans Globally. Until then, it is come on, you gonna!